Greetings and salutations. Second Star right back with some more Raid Shadow Legends. Now, scattered throughout Raid are a couple champions that are like power couples, right? They work really well with a designated champion. They'll give each other bonuses when they're on the same team, right? Cupidus and Venus are probably the best known example, but there are others. And today I thought I'd talk about two of the Sacred Order champions that have complementary skill sets. Let's say Hospitaller and Harrier. Now I know what you're thinking. Whenever you open shards and get a Hospitaller or a Harrier, you just kind of groan and put them in your vault, which is where they were for me too. But a longtime commenter and subscriber said, "Hey, SSR, why don't you take a look at these champions and see if their skill, which looks like it has potential, translates into action." So I said, yeah, why not? They're in my vault. They're at level 50 anyway, waiting for a fusion or food or whatever. So let's see what we can do. And so that's what I've done. I've geared them up, taken them into battle, to see how they perform. And there's interesting things to report. I'm going to start with Hospitaller because she's both the most interesting and the least interesting. She's the most interesting from a historical perspective because the Hospitallers were an actual Catholic military order, just like the Knights Templar were. You probably everyone's familiar with the Knights Templar, but less people are probably familiar with the Order of the Knights of the Hospital of John of Jerusalem, St. John of Jerusalem. That long name can be kind of compacted down into the Hospitallers, the Knights of Malta, the Order of St. John, a couple different names, but they were a Catholic military order just like the Knights Templar, and they actually fought with the Knights Templar in the siege of Ascalon in 1153, which was a city on the Egyptian border, where if the Crusaders wanted to make any kind of forays into Egypt, they had to get past that city first, and it has been kind of since the first Crusades, it had been a bugaboo for the Crusaders. But in 1153, the Hospitallers and the Knights Templar laid siege to the city. Took about 5 months, but eventually the city did fall, and they were victorious. And the Hospitallers are still around to this day, right? They set up shop in Malta, and they were in Malta until they fell to the French, to Napoleon, and then they got back in favor after the Maltese got sick of the French occupying their islands. So now they're still around. The Knights of Malta are a thing. They have sovereignty but no territory, but they're still around. Which is interesting. I had no idea that this was a thing until I did some research. So I hope you appreciate the historical aside as I want to go on in these videos, because that was interesting. The Hospitaller herself, interesting design. Again, just like Lady Atessa, she has a really cool shield design. I guess she has Adam and Eve and with their fig leaves, and I guess Eve even has a fig leaf bikini, which I guess is nice. And I don't know at what point Carrot Top became a symbol of divinity, but I guess that's what we're going with now. So Hospitaller, let's go into her skills really quick. Quick slash, attacks an enemy. That's it. That's all it does. A2, Wave of Purification. This one is a little bit more interesting. Attacks all enemies with a 50% chance of removing a random buff from each target. So AoE buff removal, which is really useful in dungeon waves and in the arena, just about anywhere. That's a really nice skill to have. And then her A3, Invigorating Prayers, places a 15% increased speed buff and a 15% increased crit rate buff on all allies for 2 turns. Okay, and that's on a native 4-turn cooldown that you can get down to 3 turns with just 1 book. So, and she has a speed aura also. So, she's not a great champion, but these are all skills that are useful. The problem is I don't like having no utility on her A1, and we'll get into more of that later about why Hospitaller isn't the power side of the power couple here. So let's go over to Harrier. Let's see, did I pass Harrier? No, Harrier's at the very end. Okay, so let's look at Harrier skills. Okay, he has a trick shot. This is A1. Attacks an enemy with a 15% chance of placing extra hit. I always love my extra hits. I'm a huge fan. Puncture bolt. Attacks the enemy twice. Each hit has a 30% chance of placing a 30% decreased defense buff for 2 turns. Okay, so 30% on an A2 is a little low, if you ask me. You can get it up to 50% with 5 books. and they're only rare books, so it's not that big of a deal. But still, I wish that percentage to place was over 50%, especially when it's a low. The low version of decreased defense, not 60%, it's 30%. Kind of a bummer, especially when it's a void champion. Yes, he's a rare, but usually Plarium has been pretty generous with their void rares. I mean, look at Bellower, or look at Coldheart. I mean, there's some fantastic void rares, so this one's a little bit lacking. Attacks an enemy with an extra 30% chance of inflicting a critical hit, which is always nice, but when you look at him working in tandem with Hospitaller, who already gives a 15% crit boost, where does that fit in? I mean, are you going to gear 70%, or are you going to gear 85% crit? You know, because, you know, she gives 15% crit, and he has every 4 turns when it's booked, you know, he gets that 30% bonus. It's just kind of a kludgy way of organizing skills. I'm not a big fan of how they did that. But his passive, super interesting. Skillful Partner, who ignores 50% of the target's defense when the champion inflicts a critical hit. And that's only available when Hospitaller's on the same team, but that is awesome. Ignoring defense is a super powerful skill, and to get it as a passive is pretty awesome. Granted, it's only passive when you're on the same team as Hospitaller, and she's not the greatest champion, unfortunately. I wish it was a little bit better. Also, I forgot to mention her passive, her Merciful Partner, revives a random ally with 25% hit points and places a block damage buff on them for 1 turn whenever Harrier kills an enemy. Okay, so it's an interesting dynamic, but it's whenever Harrier kills an enemy is when the revive happens, and Harrier's going to kill enemies a lot. Unfortunately, Harrier's also usually going to be the squishiest member of your team, so he's going to be the one who's going to be dead most often, so a little bit of an issue there, because whenever I run the team, the person who dies most is Harrier, so kind of unfortunate having her passive dependent on him being alive. Okay, so let's go into how he performs, and I had recorded this previously because I was actually super interested in working on Harrier further, and I will show you why. Okay, so I'm going into his artifacts. No, we'll go to his masters first. At level 50, I just did, you know, the first 2 tiers. Not a big deal. Just increase that crit damage, crit rate, and accuracy, which is, I think you might as well do it. It's not that hard to do. And I have my crit damage set, a life set, and an offense set. And the only reason I have him in a life set is because I had the 80% crit damage one on a 6-star 6-star gloves, so I figured why not, and I had the 50% hit points on the chest, so I thought I'd just go for it. And then of course I have the damage bling, attack and crit damage. Looking at his total stats, about 24,000 hit points, 2,000 attack, well, 2,100 attack, about 1,000 defense, 146 speed, crit rate of 87%, again because I'm counting on other people to give him crit, and a nice healthy 210% crit damage, 108 accuracy. I'd probably want a little bit more accuracy if you're going to be counting on him for that debuff, but you know, it's only the 30% one, so if you can bring other champions that bring a better defense down, maybe do that. Okay, so going into now, this is Ice Golems. This is 13. This is the one I always suggest people go into to get their first taste of 6-star gear, right? And it's my usual team of Lord Chamfort for hit points, Sile of the Drakes for some heals and some reses, Gorgorab for speed and res and some healing, and then of course I have Harrier and Hospitaller in here because, you know, they're the power couple. They're the one who's really working in tandem. We'll see what they do. As you can see, Harrier is bringing the pain. His hits are, for level 50, are really good, right? So against he's every crit ignores defense, 50% defense, which is pretty amazing, and his damage is right up there with the big damage dealers, like Soulbound Boyer, Halberdier. Really strong rare damage from this guy. I was super impressed with his damage output. I actually wasn't sure what to expect, but his this is 2,000 attack, which is, you know, pretty standard for level 50. A lot of that's achievable, I think, and he's bringing it. He is doing a really good job. putting his opponents to waste here. And even if he's level 50, I don't have his masteries up there yet, but getting up to like Blood Shield, because he does land the killing blow pretty often. And so, especially on Ice Golems where there's minions or wherever, that's a really nice skill to have to help it with his survivability, I found later on. Now, again, Hospitaller, with that A1 that doesn't really do anything, utility is limited, and that's just really unfortunate, right? I found it difficult on the higher levels to find her useful, right? The AoE buff removal is nice. It's definitely a nice thing to have, not going to lie. It's especially good in the potion keeps. That's where I found she's really good. She can dispel the magic shield. She can dispel Last Stand in the arcane. And I was able to do level 15 dungeons in the potion keeps with all level 50s, which can be difficult to do. Depending on your team composition and the gear you have. I remember when I was first coming up, just working my way through the potion keeps, I was having a hard time at the higher levels, and this tandem of Hospitaller and Harrier actually works out really well because you got the massive damage to deal with the waves and the minions, and Hospitaller doing AoE buff removal that works on the minions and works on the bosses. Right, so underrated there. So if you're having problems in potion keeps, this is a really nice duo to have. If you just have extra material to work with. I don't know if I would lean on these two to get me through content, and I will show you why. Even though I really like his damage, I will show you what. Let me show you his max damage first. I think that maybe that will interest you. Let's do a hit where. Oh no! Here's I replaced Harrier with Hexweaver. Hexweaver also has increased crit, and there isn't too much difference between. This is the same level, Ice Golem 13. It took a little bit longer. Harrier did a little bit less damage, as is expected, but we were able to get through this content using only Harrier. I just wanted to see if there was a huge difference between having Hospitaller on the team and not, and it turns out just in this instance. No, I think on higher levels though that difference is going to be be made more evident. All right, so that's Unity Source 3. So let's look at 4. Okay, this is the Arcane Keep, so it shows that we were able to finish it with Hospitaller and Harrier. This is max damage for his A3, buffing out as much as you can. We have defense down. See, 74,000. That's with defense down. Attack up, weaken, and increase crit damage from Whirlum. So he hits about between like 74,000 and 83,000. That's what I experienced when I ran this a couple times. That's a really strong hit for level 50. That is really up there. Again, we're talking Halberdier levels of rare damage. Really, really good. Really, really strong. All right, so I wanted to know what would happen with Harrier if we invested more in him. So I 6-starred Harrier. I did. And I maxed out his masteries too. I wanted to see how far we could push this guy and what he would do in dungeons if done so. So, and I did not 6-star Hospitaller. I did ascend her and gave her just all immortal gear so she'd stay alive in the higher level dungeons. Because really, at the higher level dungeons, Hospitaller is like. Did you play World of Warcraft? Like you said, my weapon is just a stat stick. It doesn't matter what the weapon is. I'm not using it for its damage. I'm using it for the bonuses it can give me. That's kind of what Hospitaller is. She's a special skill unlocking crit bot. Really, that's all she is at higher levels, which is unfortunate. I wish she had a bit more utility. However, she just doesn't. So let's look at Harrier if I can find him. Okay, so Harrier, he's at 32,000. I have him in crit damage, life, and offense. I did not change his gear from level 50. It's all the same gear. I did bring his masteries up, and of course, I went all the way up to what was that? Helm Smasher, right? So I can ignore some more of his defense. So I'm kind of doubling down. So now with Hospitaller on the team, and when Helm Smasher triggers, he's ignoring 75% defense. Right? You could probably push that a bit more. With Cruel gear, but I was happy with the way his gear was set up right now. Okay, so do we do anything differently? Anything else differently with him? No. Okay, everything else is just pretty typical. A little bit of a accuracy, increases base stats because I was using base stat gear. Placing debuffs again. His accuracy is a bit low, so I need any opportunity I have to increase his ability to place that defense from his A2, defense down from his A2 is I'll take it, right? All right, so let's go into a fight. Let's see. Is it 5? No. Is it 6? Which one's this? No, this is the same one. All right. Where is 7? Okay, level 200. So this is 17. This is Ice Golem 17. I could not using. I didn't want to use all legendary champions, right? I could do dragons. I can do Ice Golem 20 if I load up on legendaries. I did not want to do that because if you're gonna have Harrier and Hospitaller, if you're using those champions, you're probably not going to be using a lot of legendaries. So I tried to dial it down a bit and just used one. Just used Molly for some res and some speed boosts, right? Some utility. Frank, of course, to help me survive through it, especially Hospitaller, who is only level 50, and everyone else is level 60, and Apothecary for heals. So I just stacked up her hit points, and she was able to work through things fine. It's Harrier who has, of course, the difficulty. And now, even though he's level 60, we still see he's doing really, really strong damage to his opponents. It's not as strong as I was hoping. So I don't know where the disconnect is on that. I actually thought he'd be doing a bit more damage. Now, it varies. I mean, we'll see his A1 is doing, 15,000. There are times when he'll, when all the buffs are aligned just right, the buffs and debuffs are aligned just right, and he'll hit for 35,000 twice, right, if his extra hit procs, right? So that's a 70,000 A1, and that's pretty impressive. It doesn't happen often. Kind of the stars have to align for those things to land, but they do land, and it's super cool when it does. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. Let's see if we can skip forward. I don't want this video to drag on too long. See if we see any more big hits. No, he did hit his extra hit there. That was only about 25k total. There we go. There we go. That was nice. That was nice. So that was about 50,000 there. And he actually, his ability to hit hard really makes this level go by easier because, it's all about managing that stupid heal down if you don't have cleanse on your team, which if you have Hospitaller, and it makes it hard to add any kind of variety to your team composition, then it's important to be able to control the heal down in other ways. And, killing the minion is probably the best way to deal with the heal down, to be completely honest. Okay, so really cool that, oh, did I shut off my display capture? My video, where is it? No, okay. So anyway, he's doing pretty good, and we get through this just fine. Here is the end result here. He did 1.3 million damage. Miscreated Monster was right behind him. Of course, he's AoEing a lot, so that's where I thought that comes from. But 1.3 million in single target damage is really impressive and a lot of fun to bring to a team, right? A lot of people love their AoEers, and again, Miscreated Monster did a really good job. But having large single target damage to take out your opponents is underrated, right? Because you're getting rid of buffs, you're getting rid of debuffs. It's really, really good thing to take care of. So I'm super pleased that he was able to bring so much pain to this endeavor. All right, so let's look at his level 60 max damage. So Gorgorab will add some attack up. We'll have Draco bring in the defense down and weaken. Hospitallers are going to crit us up. Let's go, girl. All right, increases our crit. Whirlim is going to increase our crit damage. And then, boom, A3 hits for 107,000. That's not bad, right? Now, granted, he's basically a... both having him and Hospitaller is kind of like having like a faceless, right? That's kind of like what I would equate his damage and his attack ability to. That's like the closest thing. I mean, of course, the Void Epic. But you know, Hospitaller, not Hospitaller. Hospitaller's kind of a pain, but Harrier, really solid damage dealer. It doesn't bring a whole lot else. He only has an attack down. His extra crit is pretty self-serving. His A1 just has an extra hit. Does not bring about utility, but brings that really strong single target damage that I'm a huge fan of, right? And there aren't a lot of rares that really do that. There are some that can do, like I said, Soulbound Warrior is really good. Halberdier is really good, single target damage from a rare, and Harrier is right up there, even if he's not with Hospitaller. Hospitaller definitely helps him along the way, but under level 60, you know, up to level 50, Hospitaller is not really necessary. If you can get your crit damage from your crit rate from somewhere else, it's actually not that bad. So that's my my roundup of Hospitaller and Harrier. Harrier is a really good damage dealing champion. Hospitaller makes him better, but also makes the team worse because she just doesn't have enough utility. AoE debuff is nice to have. It's great in potion keeps, and that's where I think if you're having problems and you have both these champions and you want to progress and you want to have a solid team to farm your potions, you could do worse than Hospitaller and Harrier. They're really good in the potion keeps. Elsewhere, they're good, but they're not great, right? So, despite the awesome damage that Harrier does, it's hard to progress through level 20 dungeons with Harrier, because if you're bringing Hospitaller around, it really limits your team composition. You know, where are you going to find all the defense downs and attack ups and other things that you're going to need to get through? It's hard. The only way that I could get through like Dragon's 20 with Harrier Hospitaller is if I use Dracomorph. Not a lot of people have Dracomorph, right? And he's probably up to being nerfed pretty soon, if rumors are to be had. But Dracomorph's poison, defense down, and weaken, those are three things that are vital in Dragon. And if you don't have him and you're using up a team slot on Hospitaller to make your Harrier work, you're kind of working against yourself. I just think they should put something on her A1 to make her a little bit better, and then I think this tandem would be super viable. Right now, I think it just misses the mark. Again, the damage is awesome, but you need a bit more than that in higher level dungeons. You need more buffs and debuffs. You need more utility than what Hospitaller is going to give you, unfortunately, and it's kind of too bad. But because the potential is there, if Plarium could just buff Hospitaller a little bit, give a little bit more utility, maybe change Harrier's 50%, 30% defense down to like 75% and 60%, game changer. It totally changes the utility for this tandem, and that would be awesome. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked my little review, and if you did, please throw me a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and comment down below and we have a little discussion. You can join Discord. We can do a bunch of cool stuff. It'll be fun. Alright guys, take care, enjoy, and I'll see you later.